Peace, this is Jarrell with Quantum Light Consciousness. Today I want to talk about taking your power back, okay? It's Lionsgate, alright? It is the 3rd of August as I'm recording this, and the energy is huge. The energy is coming in from the galactic center. It's literally aligning from the galactic center to Sirius, to the pyramids, straight down to the center of the earth, and it's literally like expanding the entire Earth's heart field exponentially. Alright, as I'm recording this, there's like literally like lines in my field. There's literally like heart energy expanding throughout the atmosphere. It's everywhere. Okay, happy Lionsgate. Okay, today I want to talk about taking your power back. Alright, which is appropriate. Okay, because as I talked about in my last video, I was talking about karma and how it's disempowering, how it's bullshit, it's an illusion, it's paradox. I wanted to go into more of that. Alright, because not a lot of people really actually understand what karma actually is. Alright, it's a huge deception, just like duality. Okay, if you can read frequency, you don't really need to explain this, because you see it for yourself. You see how duality and karma are the same thing, because you have the karmic wheel, which is reincarnation. Then you have the duality, light and dark. It's a huge wheel where it's like, oh, one time you're good, and then another time you're bad. One life you're good, another life you're bad. It's like, oh, well, you got to pay back the bad so you can be good. And no, you have to be good so you know what it's like not to be bad. So it's like it's a paradox where one side thinks they need each other, and it's like, oh, you have to be bad in order to know what good is, or something weird. Alright, I want to go into more of that and how it's bullshit, it's an illusion. Alright, so that's what we're talking about today. Okay? What is karma? Is there actually a definition? So I wanted to answer that here. The answer is yes. Okay? Karma is based off of the wrongdoing of something based off of guilt. Alright? Say you did something that you think you shouldn't have in the past, which a lot of people do. However, there isn't anything that is actually unforgivable in this entire human existence. Right? That's just the way it is. Like, we are unconditional love. We came from an almost unimaginable realm of unconditional love. We exist as God creator beings, and for somebody to do something that's unforgivable is actually unthinkable. Right? Even with all this government stuff going on, with these vaccines, with these shots, even with all the things that happened in World War II with the massive extermination of people, all that stuff is eventually forgiven. Alright, there's no type of negativity that's unforgivable anywhere, ever in the history of the universe. Alright, so just get that out the way. Alright, no matter what happens, you're always forgiven, you're always loved, you're always appreciated for who you are and what you are. Alright, so remember that, always. Okay, so when you think about karma, what you have is a dark controller saying that, oh, you did this, you're bad. And then you thinking that you're actually bad because you don't know how to forgive yourself for something that happened. And then them playing off that and then feeding energy off of it. And that happens from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. From dark age to dark age to dark age. And it's a dark age and it's a light age. It's a dark age, it's a light age. Alright, and then, you never really get out of the reincarnational loop. Alright, it's a huge karma loop. Okay? So, what I was talking about last video about exterminating karma, eliminating it, is stopping that vicious cycle. Understanding when you're being hit by negative frequency, saying something that isn't yours. Saying something that you don't actually believe. When it's like, oh yeah, remember that thing? Remember something that happened in the past that you were almost forced to do, or that you chose to do that wasn't correct? Remember that shit. You did that. You're a bad person. And it's like, when that happens, you actually have a dimensional controller on you, funneling guilt frequency off of you. So as long as you know that, you don't have to actually be a part of that. And that goes with past lives, because these acts that our higher selves have taken place in the past also follow us from lifetime to lifetime to lifetime. When you review your past lives and you see these things, and then you happen to see like, oh, maybe I was not always a positive light being in all my lives, which a lot of us weren't. All right, a lot of us also have shadow higher selves and dark higher selves who have done things way worse than you have ever imagined in your little earthly past lives. So after you review your past lives, you're like, oh, well, where does the karma end? Where does the darkness end? It ends with you understanding that karma is actually an illusion, right? When terrible things happen, it doesn't mean that they're going to follow and feed off of your existence, off of every cell in your body for the rest of eternity, all right? It starts with you to actually understand where the loop is and where the parasitic cycle needs to stop feeding off of you, all right? When something happens, or when you have chosen to do something that wasn't in your best interest in the past, all you have to do is say, I love you, I forgive you, I'm sorry, and thank you. Ho'oponopono. That density from that grudge or that guilt or that accusation of either towards yourself or towards somebody else for the wrongdoing of the transgression that happened starts to fade away. It's transmutation 101. That's exactly what it is. Okay? When you see these things in your past lives, all right, you see your higher selves also in that same frequency. When you start to wake up and when you start to actually interact with your higher selves and your dark higher selves. Okay? So what you need to do is actually understand that there is actually no such thing as a bad person, no matter what. All right? And then you need to actually run with that and then transmute your darkness from past lives from that, and then do that with your higher selves, with your dark higher selves especially. I told you how to do that in past videos about integrating your higher selves and transmuting your darkness. All right, check those videos out. They're very helpful videos. And when you do that, you basically start to leave duality. You start to see how there's no need for a broken-hearted cosmic computer simulation program to be reincarnating and recycling souls non-stop forever and ever and ever and ever on a freaking loop that's like not even completely functioning. It's totally broken. Like, if you look at duality, if you actually look at it, what it is a sick computer system that's bipolar, that doesn't even like function correctly. It's completely out of phase. Like, people need, like, you need to realize this. Like, everybody's like, oh, it's of ages, it's the dark age and the light age. It's like a giant cosmic show. The dark controllers show up and kill everybody, and then the light controllers show up and heal everything. And then the dark controllers show up and start wars and make everybody sick, famine and war. And then the light controllers show up with peace, love, and abundance, prosperity, and harmony. It's the way of the ages. Like, that's totally bipolar. Like, you do not need one then the other, one then the other, one then the other. That's actual madness. That's actually what it is. And when you understand karma, you understand that there's no such thing as a bad person. There's no such thing as darkness needing to exist. When you hear somebody say, oh, well, darkness is going to feed somehow, or, oh, there's something wrong with everybody, or, oh, we need darkness in some way or form, it just helps everything. Like, no, that's actually what a parasite would say. That's actually what some type of insurance salesman would say, to make sure that they always have a policy to feed off somebody's death, or to feed off somebody's disorder, or feed off somebody somewhere, to make sure that they're always getting their drug fix of energy. That's exactly what it is. That's 101. If you live life on Earth, you learn how to read frequency, and you learn how to recognize patterns and look at these references of, okay, this means that. Okay, that is actually this. This is actually what they're doing here. This is what this means. I don't know what you people are on, but like, this is what it is. All right, and I'm telling you guys. All right, you can figure it out for yourselves, or you can learn the hard way. All right, this is what it takes to start taking your power back. This is what it takes to actually start learning and utilizing yourself as a fully realized self-illuminated God being, and actually staying in your power and looking out into the outstretches of eternity and say, hey, I'm here. I exist. I am. Okay? I am. And I'm not okay with the things that have been happening cycle for cycle for cycle for cycle. I don't care for how many galactic years. It's over. It's it. It's done. All right. That's not happening for me. I'm going to heal my entire soul stream. So my entire bloodline, all the way down from source, isn't split from a galactic war that happened in the angelic realms who knows how long ago. So you take higher self to higher self, start healing, all the way up, beginning with your past lives, all the way up to your higher selves until you get all the way up to where you need to go, back to source. And that's the way it works. That's literally the way it works. Okay? And there's multiple ways you can do this. All right? Check out those videos I mentioned. That's the way it works. You can also work with a higher self of all higher selves, who honestly is my favorite to work with. His name is Archangel Metatron. Basically, he is known as the perfect human. All right? So it's like, it's the guy to go to when you need to actually be like, okay, well, what should I do about this? Well, how should I see this situation? What does this actually mean? Because if you go to some of your higher selves, they're still in their karma. They're still in the karmic wheel. All right? They're still connected to a multidimensional reincarnation philosophy where you kind of want to break out of that. You want to see things happen. All right? And something that happened to me, which is why I'm making this video to share to you, is that I started to integrate more of my energy from Archangel Metatron. And when I started to do this, I actually started to see my power come back to me. What they showed me was an archetype, a hero's archetype, chained down, right? He was chained down. He was in like a Roman Colosseum. He was on his knees, and then he had chains binding his wrists from one side to the other side, right? And then what I saw was him breaking the chains. One broke the chain, other arm broke the chain, and then he stood up, all right? And that's literally like what it takes. Like, you actually just have to be conscious. You have to be aware of who you are on a multidimensional level. Then you start to actually shift, you start to grow, you start to transfigure and transform into more of who you are. And there's no other perfect time in this than Lionsgate. This is exact like prime time for that. I owe so many wonderful awakenings and transformations and progressions in my own evolution to Lionsgate than any other Stargate combined. Alright. This is the best time to do it. Alright. You can even bring in your learned higher self to help you, because they're also very, very positive and very, very resonant and relevant to this happening now here on the planet Earth. Okay? Research and do the due diligence to think for yourself and confirm what I'm telling you before you go and try and implement some of this stuff, because it's high level stuff and you should really stay in your heart and do what feels right for you. Okay? So peace and love. If you guys would like a session, I do sessions at quantumlight.org. I do intuitive reading, numerology reading, custom art, and a couple more things coming soon. Astral projection coaching, soon meditation coaching. Alright, peace and love. Talk to you soon.